Previously on Vikings, what is going on? This week on Vikings, what is going on?
Hi, I'm Abby Murphy, Assistant Photo Editor at The Tower Light.
I'm Daryllee, Hale, Associate Arts and Life Editor at The Tower Light.
And I'm Devorah Roberts, Assistant Video Producer at The Tower Light.
So, finale!
The finale. This was a finale, I guess.
Finale, I guess. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so they built it up a lot in the trailers for everything, and we just keep watching it. There's gonna be a fight scene, right? Something's gonna happen,
Yeah, we
right?
thought we were leading up to a fight scene.
The episode honestly felt more like a pre-finale. Like, it had that sense of dread that you get when you go into a finale episode, but it didn't have the big climax that always comes in a finale.
I think the problem is that they got renewed for a second season, and they weren't sure that was gonna happen, so they put some of their storylines off until second season. But that's not what they should have done. They should have closed the season with something, like, big and something you were expecting.
Although I feel with a lot of shows you get criticized either way, like,
true.
We thought we were only going to have one season, so we wrapped everything up too abruptly. Well, we didn't wrap everything up.
It did happen with Cora.
Yeah, with Cora, yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking about.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is that it's just, it didn't make me want to watch the second season. Like, I'm going to.
I mean, I still
But,
want to.
of course.
I mean, we know why you want to.
I want to know what happens.
To George. I mean, Athelstan.
You guys are terrible people. Why don't I watch this show with you? This is a bad idea.
The Abby notebook throw count this episode was only one because George only appeared like once.
But she almost did fight someone.
No, I didn't.
And she flapped her book like this quite a lot, and she fell to the ground.
It was very intense. I was really upset they killed off Gita. I like Gita.
And
She's
it was
one of my
worse
favorites.
because at the beginning of the episode they show how concerned she is for Lagartha.
Because Lagartha's like, you keep going. I have a lot of feelings about it. Keep going.
Yeah, it was just really sad, like the way that happened, the way it came full circle to her being worried about her mom, to her mom
having to light the fire.
Yeah, it was really sad.
Especially because Ragnar the whole episode was just flirting with the slug, and I know that happens in the saga. I was like, oh, I know who you are. Like, she was a cool character, except the fact that it's like, but look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the shots. There's always these really pretty artistic shots sprinkled in amongst the action.
There definitely were some great framing and stuff this episode, though, I will say. But
there was so much of just
It
shots.
was just, there's Rolo sitting. There's this guy sitting. Whatever.
Here's Lagartha standing by the water. Here's, it was just one of those things where it's like normally
it was
it's a
very
nice break.
static. It was a very static episode in a show that's been very dynamic.
Yeah.
It should have been more.
I mean, it was just unexpected. It's like all of a sudden it's like everybody's dropping dead and not from wounds but from sickness, which is an interesting twist to what the show's been. Like, it was different, but
I feel like this was an episode that should have happened earlier in.
Yes. And talking about the actual content of the episode, when Lagartha went to see the seer, he mentioned how Ragnar was in danger from a spiritual or magical kind of perspective. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring more of that in next season.
yeah, I'll be really interested to see that for sure.
I mean, they've kind of brought that in with the prophecies and the seers and all the trippy, weird sequences.
Yeah, there was one with those with Siggy.
Yeah, well, that was also because of her fever.
Yeah.
But speaking of the seer, there's the whole thing with Lagartha talking to him and about how her husband's life was going to be in danger.
Yeah.
They didn't really show that, but I'm guessing that's going to be what's going to
It's
happen
definitely
with.
set up.
Yeah.
With Slug and all that.
The main thing that I got from the finale was how much Ragnar has changed since the beginning
Definitely,
of the show.
and Bjorn.
They've kind of flipped. Ragnar's gotten less mature and more primal, and Bjorn has gotten a lot more mature and loyal.
I wanted to give Bjorn a hug for all the stuff he had to deal with this
Poor
episode.
kid.
I mean,
Oh, God.
he had to watch his dad almost have sex twice.
Wait,
Well,
almost?
he did have sex the one time,
Yeah.
but the second time it was kind of iffy.
Yeah, that was not cool. It's like your son's in the room. I guess it's a different culture, but
Yeah, but
still
still.
awkward. You could tell Bjorn was like, dude,
Yeah.
or dad, you can't do that.
The other big thing I got from this episode was how strong Lagartha is. Like, it's been a thing
Yes.
all season, but they really emphasized it. Like, from the beginning when she admitted that she had fears to the end where her fears were kind of realized, but she kept going on with it.
It was heartbreaking. The fact that
Yeah.
she was doing praying, offering sacrifices for her daughter, for Athelstan, for Ragnar, for everybody, sacrificing these things and being so strong in the face of all this. And meanwhile, Ragnar's off flirting with this princess.
I think it's a huge parallel between the two. Like, you see Lagartha rise above all of these things, and then
She's so much better.
Ragnar is just kind of, he's gotten into power, and now he's crumbling with it.
there's definitely going to be some conflict with that because he definitely has ambitions, and so does Rollo. Rollo
Yeah.
had a lot of schemes in
And
this episode.
that the brothers, the dynamic between the brothers has been a theme all season.
And now we see all of a sudden that breaking point.
It's finally happened.
Which is, Rollo's relationship with Ragnar has been tested so many times through this
And
season.
it's every time he stood by him.
I feel him. I
I
really
do too. It's really hard to feel for Ragnar's, but
He's a tool this episode.
Yeah, this episode, like, really was just depressing. Like, I don't feel bad about the things that happened. I feel like we've gone past a point now of, like, happiness, and we're just going on a downward spiral.
it was just like bad for everybody this episode. I don't think. I mean, Floki got to eat food, and Floki rides a white stallion. Those are two important
I
things
felt
got.
Floki. I would have wanted to eat food too if I was riding all day.
That's so true.
And then I guess to end the episode, it was just all about war. Like that's what
coming.
season 2 is going to be about, I guess.
I'm hoping that the season 2 premiere will be super epic.
Yeah, I'm really sad that we have to wait so long.
But so for this episode, I gave it about, I say a C. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe a C. Maybe even lower compared to the rest of the season.
thing
Like,
is,
it
though,
was
In comparison to the rest of the
It's
season.
Vikings.
But it's still so, even when it wasn't the best episode, it was still really good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the most, it wasn't my favorite episode.
But you know,
Yeah.
overall,
Overall, this whole season, I mean, do you guys want to like talk about the season so far, like what we thought of the show?
Yeah, I think that overall I would give it an A?
Like, the show overall
A minus.
has definitely been
A minus.
A
had
minus
that.
for Danielle and Rollo.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I thought just filming wise, it was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Dialogue, acting, wonderful. The scripting this episode, bad. Not bad. Just not the greatest. But overall, I thought it was lovely.
Yeah, overall, this whole season. I mean, I came in watching the show for a very specific purpose, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really wanted to see Athelstan, this character. That's another thing. Athelstan, his whole character development, we kind of got shortchanged with that a little bit this episode. He was
Yeah.
just kind of sick.
Last episode was so Athelstan-centric, and then all of a sudden it was like, bye!
It's like, maybe he'll be there, maybe he'll not, maybe he'll die. I really didn't want that to happen, and luckily he didn't. But there's still so much I want to see from these characters, especially Lagertha, especially Athelstan, and Bjorn. I'm actually really curious to see what Bjorn does, too.
But what did you guys think of the finale? I am sorry, James A. Brittany, YouTube user. Ragnar did not die.
Yeah.
Yeah, no snake pits today.
But before we sign off, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching.
Thank you. This has been amazing. I can't believe we've gotten so much support from you guys. It's really cool. I've really loved doing this.
And tell us what you want to see next season and what you want to hear from us.
And thank you to Seamus and Ashley, my other bosses, who allowed me to do this. And to you two guys for doing the reviews and like carrying on even when you guys had other stuff to do. It's been really great.
It's been wonderful.
Of course. For the Tower Light, I'm Daryllee Hale.
I'm Abby Murphy.
And I'm Devorah Roberts, and we'll see you next season.
See you next season.
Rodo is hot.